In the world of football, teammates come and go. Friendships fade. Loyalty is rare. But every once in a generation, two warriors find each other. One became the most feared attacker in history. The other, his guardian angel in defense. This is the untold story of Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe, a bond built not on words, but on war, wounds, and winning. From street dreams to European glory, they weren't just teammates, they were brothers in battle. In the bustling neighborhoods of Madeira and the gritty streets of Maceió, Brazil, two boys were growing up thousands of miles apart, unknowingly destined to share one of the fiercest and most loyal bonds in modern football history. Globe showing Europe-Africa two different worlds. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born in 1985 on the island of Madeira, Portugal. He grew up in a modest home with a tight-knit family. His father, José Dinis Aveiro, worked as a kit man for a local football club. The young Ronaldo, known for his relentless energy and hunger to improve, spent hours kicking footballs around the streets and dirt pitches of Funchal. What he lacked in resources, he made up for in ambition. He idolized Luis Figo, dreamed of playing for Sporting CP, and knew, even at a young age, that football was his ticket to a better life. Kepler Lavrin Lima Ferreira, better known as Pepe, was born in 1983 in Brazil, a land of rhythm, football, and dreams. Pepe was raised in the port city of Maceió, a region marked by poverty and instability. From a young age, he was known for being fearless. While many kids admired the flair of attackers, Pepe admired defenders, the warriors, the guardians, the ones who fought back. He loved the chaos of a hard tackle, the roar of a crowd when he shut down a forward. Like Ronaldo, he too saw football as his way out. And in pursuit of that dream, he left Brazil as a teenager to seek footballing glory in Portugal. They were unaware that their paths would collide, not as enemies on opposing sides of a football pitch, but as warriors wearing the same crest, both for club and country. Portugal, a common destination. Pepe moved to Portugal at 18, joining Maritimo, a modest club in the Primeira Liga. The transition wasn't easy. He barely spoke the language, struggled to adapt to the culture, and missed home. But football became his language. His aggressive style, unwavering work ethic, and passion made him stand out. Soon, Porto came calling, and he rose through their ranks like a storm. Ronaldo, meanwhile, had joined Sporting CP's Fame Academy. His skills were electric: speed, dribbling, and a goal-hungry mindset that dazzled coaches and scouts alike. At 16, he was already playing with the U-23s. By 17, he was in the first team. His performance in a pre-season match against Manchester United left Sir Alex Ferguson speechless, and shortly after, Ronaldo was wearing the red of Manchester. Though they had both set foot in Portugal, their bond had not yet formed. But the seeds were being sown. Both were becoming soldiers, disciplined, passionate, and unyielding. Glowing star-stardom and scrutiny. At Manchester United, Ronaldo began his metamorphosis, from a flashy teenager to a complete athlete. Sir Alex Ferguson mentored him into becoming one of the world's best. Meanwhile, Pepe continued to rise at Porto, winning domestic trophies and catching the eye of scouts from Spain. In 2007, Real Madrid paid €30 million for him, an unheard-of fee for a defender back then. Then came a pivotal moment. In 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo made his move to Real Madrid for a world record €94 million. It wasn't just a transfer, it was a statement. Real Madrid now had the most expensive attacker and one of the most aggressive defenders on the planet. Their bond was about to begin. Handshake brothers in the Bernabeu. From the moment Ronaldo and Pepe shared the pitch, something clicked. Their personalities were different. Ronaldo was a superstar, Pepe the silent warrior, but they respected each other immensely. What united them was their mentality, ruthless, ambitious, and fearless. Pepe protected Ronaldo like a brother. He would sprint across a pitch to defend him from harsh tackles. If anyone laid a finger on CR7, Pepe would be there, sometimes too aggressively, leading to suspensions and controversies. But to him, Ronaldo wasn't just a teammate. He was family. Behind the scenes, they forged a bond beyond football. They shared dinners, family gatherings, holidays. Pepe, who became a naturalized Portuguese citizen, found comfort in Ronaldo's presence. They laughed about their roots, cried about their sacrifices, and dreamed about international glory. Ronaldo once said, "Pepe is more than a teammate. He's like a brother to me." Trophy the Champions League era begins. Their first major campaign together in Madrid didn't bring instant success, but the energy was shifting. Real Madrid, once chaotic and divided, was slowly becoming a well-oiled machine. Under Jose Mourinho, a fellow Portuguese who adored both players, they became lethal. Mourinho pushed them, understood them, and created a bunker mentality. It was us against the world, and Pepe and Ronaldo thrived under that ethos. Between 2011 and 2014, Real Madrid's identity was shaped around Cristiano's goals and Pepe's grit. Ronaldo shattered goal-scoring records, and Pepe became a cornerstone in defense, relishing battles against Barcelona's Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. These matches were brutal, intense, and emotional. And whenever Ronaldo went down, Pepe would be the first one there, defending his honor, sometimes even going too far, earning red cards and suspensions. But never once did Ronaldo publicly criticize him. The loyalty was mutual. That loyalty became the heart of their bond. Portugal reunited for Portugal. While club football brought them glory, their true emotional high came when wearing the red of Portugal. In the national team, the bond between Ronaldo and Pepe transformed from professional respect to national pride. They were the veterans, the leaders, the spiritual core. Younger players looked up to them, not just for their achievements, but for their unity. At the 2016 UEFA Euro, Ronaldo and Pepe led a team that wasn't favored by anyone. Portugal didn't win a single group stage match. They were mocked, doubted, written off. But behind the scenes, it was Pepe who held the dressing room together when morale dipped. And it was Ronaldo who inspired with his relentless belief. Side by side, they rallied the squad, and then it happened. Portugal shocked the world. They beat Croatia, outlasted Poland, conquered Wales, and in the final against France, Ronaldo went down with an injury early. Tears flowed, but he didn't leave the field mentally. He coached from the sideline. On the pitch, Pepe played the match of his life, fighting, blocking, intercepting everything. He was everywhere, a man possessed. And when Eder scored the winning goal in extra time, the tears turned to triumph. Pepe embraced Ronaldo on the field, two warriors, broken and bruised, now champions of Europe. In the white-hot cauldron of Santiago Bernabeu and the hostile territory of Camp Nou, there existed one of football's fiercest wars, El Clásico. It was more than a game. It was pride, politics, history, and vengeance bottled into 90 minutes. For Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe, El Clásico was not just another fixture. It was a battlefield where their bond was tested, forged, and proven time and time again. Clásico begins. Welcome to the war. The early 2010s were the golden years of El Clásico. Barcelona, led by Pep Guardiola, were executing some of the most beautiful football the world had ever seen, with Lionel Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta at their peak. Real Madrid, under Jose Mourinho, were built for destruction. Mourinho didn't want to outpass Barcelona. He wanted to outfight them. And Ronaldo and Pepe were Mourinho's frontline generals. Ronaldo was a main threat going forward, always swarmed by Barcelona defenders. And Pepe? He became the enforcer. Every time Messi got the ball, Pepe was there to pressure, tackle, or block him, sometimes clean, often controversial. What made those matches legendary wasn't just the football, it was the emotion. And when the tackles flew, tempers flared, and drama unfolded, there was one constant. Pepe defending Ronaldo like a bodyguard. Fisted hand sign defend at all costs. There was an infamous match in April 2011, Champions League semifinal. Tensions were boiling. Pepe was everywhere, throwing himself into tackles, disrupting Barcelona's rhythm. Midway through the match, a contentious red card was shown to him for a high challenge on Dani Alves. Real Madrid were furious. Ronaldo visibly protested alongside Pepe. The match ended in a Barca win, and Pepe's sending off was widely debated. But the message was clear. He would do anything to protect his team, especially Cristiano. Whether it was Piqué roughing up Ronaldo, Busquets whispering trash talk, or Mascherano dragging CR7 down, Pepe was never far behind. He would sprint from his position, confront the opponent face-to-face, and sometimes had to be pulled away by teammates. In those moments, Ronaldo never flinched. He knew Pepe had his back. And when others hesitated, Pepe acted, even at the risk of bookings or media backlash. Pepe was never playing just for points. He was playing for honor, and defending Ronaldo was part of that honor. Trophy redemption and triumph. All the tension, pain, and fire led to a breakthrough in 2012, when Real Madrid finally won La Liga under Mourinho. Ronaldo scored 46 league goals. Pepe, brutal and brilliant in equal measure, was essential to that title. They celebrated together, arms wrapped, tears in their eyes, having silenced critics. It wasn't just a victory over Barcelona. It was a victory over the years of being branded as second best. And yet, their bond only grew stronger. They were different in so many ways. Ronaldo lived for the spotlight. Pepe was content in the shadows. Ronaldo thrived on elegance and excellence. Pepe thrived on chaos and confrontation. But they both shared something deeper, unshakable loyalty. And in the lion's den that was Real Madrid, where egos clashed and alliances faded, that loyalty was priceless. Handshake off the pitch, brotherhood beyond football. Behind the scenes, Pepe and Ronaldo's relationship extended far beyond the pitch. They spoke the same language, shared the same cultural roots, and understood the sacrifices each had made to reach the top. At team dinners, they sat together. In training camps, they roomed together. Their families grew close. Pepe even joked in interviews, saying, "Cristiano is not just my captain, he's my friend. Sometimes, my brother." Ronaldo, in turn, never forgot Pepe's loyalty. During media frenzies, when Pepe was under fire for his aggressive playing style, Ronaldo often stood up for him. "He's a defender who plays with heart," Ronaldo said once. Yes, he's intense. But would you want anything less from someone who plays for you? Football, the Euro 2016 miracle, chapter of destiny. By the time UEFA Euro 2016 arrived, many thought Portugal's golden age was over. The squad was aging. Critics mocked their lack of flair. But Ronaldo and Pepe didn't care about outside noise. This was their last shot together at international glory. As the tournament progressed, Portugal battled through narrow wins, extra-time heroics, and penalties. Their journey was gritty, not glamorous. In the final against France, tragedy struck. Ronaldo went down injured in the 25th minute. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he left the field. The world assumed Portugal was finished, but Pepe remained. And in that moment, it was as if he inherited Ronaldo's will. He led the defense with a lion's heart, covering every blade of grass, heading away every cross, throwing his body in front of every shot. It was perhaps the performance of his life. When Eder scored in extra time, Portugal had done the impossible. And Ronaldo, from the sidelines, sprinted to the field at full time, injured, limping, weeping. The first man he hugged? Pepe. Gold military medal # more than medals. That moment wasn't just about the trophy. It was a culmination of years of war together, in Madrid, in Lisbon, in stadiums across Europe. Pepe wasn't just Ronaldo's teammate anymore. He was his soldier, his shield, his soul brother. They lifted the Euro trophy together. Ronaldo kissed the medal. Pepe kissed the badge. And Portugal rejoiced. Repeat button change comes. Bond remains. In 2017, Pepe left Real Madrid after a decade of service. He joined Beşiktaş in Turkey, and later FC Porto again. Many assumed that distance would fade their friendship, but nothing changed. They continued to meet during international duty. Ronaldo would check in on Pepe after matches. Pepe, now the elder statesman of the national team, often mentored younger players using Ronaldo as a standard. At Euro 2020, both aged and written off, they fought side by side once more. Still fierce, still proud. And when Ronaldo returned to Manchester United in 2021 and then moved to Saudi Arabia in 2023, the friendship persisted. Social media messages, birthday wishes, private calls, a bond unbreakable by time or distance. Dove hash when words aren't needed. What defined Ronaldo and Pepe wasn't just shared glory. It was that in a sport known for temporary alliances, their loyalty was permanent. Pepe never once betrayed Ronaldo. He never chased clout at Ronaldo's expense. He was never jealous, never bitter, never disloyal. And Ronaldo, despite being surrounded by stars and legends, always held Pepe in a special place in his heart. Because when the world tried to bring him down, Pepe stood up beside him. When the pressure crushed others, Pepe fought on. When the game got ugly, Pepe embraced the fire to protect his brother. And in return, Ronaldo gave him unwavering trust. Football often tests relationships. As teammates come and go, bonds fade. But for Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe, time, distance, and even different clubs never loosened their unbreakable connection. Instead, every battle, every separation, every farewell made their loyalty stronger. Explosion symbol, the mad dog defender, Pepe unleashed. Pepe was never just a defender. He was a protector, a wall, and at times, a storm. When he was on the pitch with Ronaldo, something ignited inside him, an urgency to shield his captain from anything that threatened him, both physically and mentally. Pepe's most infamous moments often came when someone crossed that line with Ronaldo. To outsiders, these were moments of madness. But for those who watched closely, it was love through fire. One of the most legendary incidents came in 2014, in a La Liga clash against Athletic Bilbao. Ronaldo was elbowed in the face by Gurpegi and got into a minor scuffle. The referee showed Ronaldo a red card. As CR7 walked off the pitch, Pepe stormed toward the opposing players, gesturing, shouting, standing up for Ronaldo even though the incident could have ended. He risked his own suspension. But for Pepe, that didn't matter. Ronaldo was his priority. In another memorable El Clásico, Dani Alves shoved Ronaldo unnecessarily after the whistle. Pepe instantly sprinted from centre-back to confront him. Words flew. Bodies clashed. But Ronaldo just walked away. He didn't need to lift a finger. He had a bodyguard in full battle mode. Pepe never asked Ronaldo to defend him in return. That was never the deal. He served, not for recognition, but out of loyalty. Shield has the loyalty that football rarely sees. The world of elite football is competitive and, at times, selfish. Even the closest teammates may fade into former colleagues after a few seasons apart. But Pepe and Ronaldo defied that pattern. Behind the scenes, their bond was brotherly. Pepe was among the few people Ronaldo allowed into his tightly guarded private life. Their families became close. Their children played together during national camps. On social media, they shared jokes, birthday messages, and quiet nods to shared history. During a press conference in 2017, when asked about his greatest teammate, Ronaldo didn't mention the usual suspects like Benzema or Bale first. He said, "I've had many great teammates, but if I had to go into a fight with someone, I'd choose Pepe. No one is more loyal." Waving hand signs saying goodbye to Madrid. In the summer of 2017, after a decade of service, Real Madrid decided not to renew Pepe's contract. It was a difficult decision, not just for the club, but for the man who stood beside him in countless battles, Cristiano Ronaldo. The announcement came suddenly. Pepe had won everything: La Liga titles, 3 Champions League trophies, and had anchored one of the strongest defenses in Madrid's history. But time and injuries had taken a toll. The club wanted fresh legs. In a quiet moment after his final match at the Bernabeu, Pepe sat in the locker room alone. No cameras, no farewell speech. Just him, his boots, and the emptiness of goodbye. Ronaldo walked in, sat beside him, and simply said, "You'll always be part of my team, no matter where we are." They embraced. It wasn't loud or dramatic, but it was powerful. Their last match together at Madrid felt surreal. One final war as Blancos. One final handshake in the tunnel. One final shared breath before walking onto the pitch. Turkish a new chapter in Turkey. Pepe signed for Beşiktaş in Turkey, a club passionate and fiery, much like him. The fans adored his aggression. But something was missing. For the first time in years, he wasn't lining up with Ronaldo. No more pre-match handshakes. No more knowing glances after a hard tackle. No more shared triumphs under the Madrid lights. But the bond never dimmed. Whenever Ronaldo scored a wonder goal, Pepe would post it. When Pepe made a heroic clearance or played a key match, Ronaldo would send him a message. In an era where loyalty was rare, their connection remained steady. Trophy life and the national team, still fighting together. Despite going separate ways at the club level, they remained undisputed starters for Portugal. At the 2018 World Cup, both men were in their 30s. Critics said they were past their prime. But when Portugal faced Spain in the group stage, Ronaldo scored a legendary hat-trick. And Pepe? He was a rock at the back, keeping Diego Costa from running wild. After Ronaldo's third goal, a stunning free kick to make it 3-3, he turned toward Pepe and pointed, as if to say, "We're still here, still fighting." In that tournament and beyond, Pepe played with the same hunger. Age didn't matter. All that mattered was that he still had Ronaldo to defend. The final campaigns. In the UEFA Nations League in Euro 2020, the Portuguese duo continued to anchor their nation's hope. And while the results didn't mirror 2016's magic, the heart was still there. Pepe was now 38, still starting, still barking orders, still chasing down attackers like a man half his age. And Ronaldo? Still the talisman, still the top scorer, still clutch. Their longevity wasn't just about physical ability. It was about mental resilience, forged in over a decade of war. And no matter the result, after every whistle, they would walk off together, head held high, arms around each other's shoulders. Repeat button full circle, Porto and Ulnas. Pepe returned to FC Porto, the club where it all began. Ronaldo, after stints at Juventus and Manchester United, signed for Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. They were now truly worlds apart. Yet the moments of their brotherhood never stopped. In 2023, when Pepe turned 40, Ronaldo posted a heartfelt message on Instagram. "Happy birthday to my brother, my warrior. Still fighting like a lion. Proud of you always." Later that year, during a Portugal training camp, the cameras caught a quiet moment. Ronaldo and Pepe sitting on a bench during sunset, just talking. Smiling like kids, laughing like men who had survived 1,000 storms together. No microphones, no interviews, just brothers. Microphone has the words that say it all. In 2024, Ronaldo was asked by a journalist, "Who is the one teammate you'd call in the darkest hour?" He paused, smiled. "Pepe, always Pepe." All great stories have a beginning, a battle, and a farewell. But only the greatest ones leave behind a legacy, etched in the hearts of fans and burned into the memory of the game itself. The bond between Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe wasn't just forged in football. It was something deeper, something eternal. This is a final chapter of two warriors who stood shoulder to shoulder through the brightest lights and the darkest storms. A story of fire, loyalty, and brotherhood. Portugal won last ride. As the 2026 World Cup loomed on the horizon, Portugal's golden generation had all but faded. Many expected both Pepe and Ronaldo to retire. Pepe was now over 40, Ronaldo nearing 41. But when the call came from the national team, they didn't hesitate. They weren't there just for legacy or nostalgia. They came to fight one last battle for their country. Pepe was no longer the same force he once was. His pace had slowed. The tackles were more calculated. But his spirit? Still unmatched. Ronaldo, too, had evolved. He wasn't running the flanks anymore. But he remained deadly. Every movement was precise, every shot still terrifying. And in the locker room, their roles shifted. No longer just players. They were mentors. Pepe to the defenders. Ronaldo to the attackers. And together, they were the soul of the squad. Speech balloon lessons to the next generation. Bruno Fernandes once said in an interview, "When Ronaldo speaks, we listen. When Pepe enters the room, we sit up straight." To young players like João Felix and Diogo Costa, Pepe and Ronaldo weren't just legends. They were living lessons. Lessons in how to win, how to lose, how to fight, and, above all, how to stay loyal to the crest, to the mission, and to each other. When training ended, Ronaldo would often stay back for extra drills. And Pepe? He'd be on the sidelines, watching, clapping, encouraging. Still the hardest worker, Pepe would say. Still the fiercest defender, Ronaldo would respond. The bond remained unshaken. Stadium has the final match. It wasn't scripted. No one knew it would be their last. But fate has a way of tying things up beautifully. Portugal was playing a friendly in Lisbon against Italy. The stadium was packed, the energy thick with nostalgia. Both Ronaldo and Pepe were named in the starting 11, perhaps for the final time. Before the match, they stood for the national anthem, shoulders brushing, eyes closed. When the whistle blew, it was like stepping back in time. Ronaldo chasing down passes, Pepe clearing crosses, both commanding the pitch with the same intensity as they had in their prime. In the 70th minute, the manager made a double substitution. Two names flashed on the fourth official's board. Number 3, Pepe. Number 7, Ronaldo. As they walked off together, the stadium stood, not just in applause, but in reverence. They embraced at the sideline. A long hug, no words, just history between them. And in that moment, the world understood this was the end of an era. Memo the letters. Days after that match, something beautiful unfolded on social media. First, from Cristiano Ronaldo to my brother Pepe. We fought together, bled together, celebrated and cried together. From Madrid to Paris to Lisbon, you've been more than a teammate. You've been a shield, a rock, a brother. I knew whenever I stepped on the pitch that if anything happened to me, you'd be there. Football gave us medals, but our friendship is the greatest trophy. Obrigado, Capital, Cristiano. The next day, Pepe replied with his own post. To my captain, Cristiano, I came to Portugal as a kid with a dream. I found a nation, a purpose, and a brother. You made us believe that impossible was nothing. I just made sure no one touched you while you did it. You led, I followed, and I would do it all again. Always your soldier. Pepe. Thousands of fans reposted the letters. Football pages around the world translated them into dozens of languages. People cried, not just for what they'd done, but for who they had been. Globe showing Europe, Africa what they leave behind. Together, Ronaldo and Pepe played over 200 matches side by side, won 3 Champions League titles together at Real Madrid, lifted Portugal's first ever Euro trophy in 2016, reached 2 international tournament finals, spent 18-plus years together cross-club and country, built a brotherhood that transcended the game. But their impact wasn't just in numbers. They showed the world what true loyalty looks like. In a sport where teammates often become rivals, where headlines matter more than heart, they stayed true to each other. They proved that friendship in football could last beyond transfers, fame, and even time. Epilogue. After the whistle, Ronaldo eventually retired in Saudi Arabia, ending his career with a staggering 890 goals. Pepe played his final season at FC Porto, guiding the youth and winning one last league title. And when the day came, Ronaldo's official retirement, guess who stood beside him at his ceremony? Pepe. They hugged. Ronaldo cried. And in his final words on stage, he turned to the crowd and said, I was lucky to score goals, but I was blessed to have a brother like him watching my back. That night, under the stars of Lisbon, the two sat quietly with their families. No interviews, no cameras, just two friends, warriors turned legends, watching a game they loved play on without them. But for those who watched closely, one thing was certain. Their legacy would never fade, because in the end, this was never just about football. It was about two kids who rose from nothing, stood side by side in glory and pain, and never once let the world pull them apart.